Through the fire na masarap naman talagang makijoin sa mga trending ganap online. Pero kahit anong impormasyon, oo pati memes, pwedeng makaapekto sa pananaw ng publiko. Kaya mas mahalaga na maging maingat sa pagproseso ng anumang nakikita natin online. Dahil hindi lahat ng nakikitang trending issue online ay organic. And that's not a lie. Minsan kasi, hindi nagkakataon lang na paulit-ulit ang isang post. May mga nagpapalakas o nagpapakalat nito bilang bahagi ng isang organized effort o influence campaign, ayon sa mga pag-aaral sa FIMI or Foreign Information Manipulation and Interference. Kapag gumagamit ng magkakaugnay na peking account o nagtatagong pagkakakilanlan para magmukhang organic ang isang kampanya, ang tawag dito ay Coordinated Inauthentic Behavior o CIB, isang modernong taktika sa social media na nakikita sa mga pagtatangkang impluwensyahan ang opinyon ng publiko. Ayon kay open source intelligence analyst Giano Libot, hindi na bago ang disinformation sa social media, pero may panibago na itong itsura na mas malawak.
It's not just one single incident, so it's not like you're just looking at isang occurrence lang ng parang false information. This is a series of accounts that within a specific time frame launch a campaign online. It's just that in this case, it's a negative campaign because it contains oftentimes false or misleading information.
Ganito gumagana ang CIB. Hindi ito basta misinformation lang. Ito ay isang organized na operasyon ng mga inauthentic, fake at duplicated accounts. Minsan libo-libo na sabay-sabay nagpo-post, nagko-comment o nagre-react para lang papagmukaing totoo o popular ang isang ideya. Sa madaling sabi, scripted ang kilos pero organic ang dating dahil sa dami ng mga lumilitaw. Katulad na nangyari sa Sinovac vaccine noong pandemic. Lumabas sa report ng Reuters na noong COVID-19 pandemic, inilunsad ng militar ng US ang lihim na kampanya laban sa lumalakas na impluwensya ng China sa Pilipinas. Gumamit umano sila ng peking accounts para pagdudahan ang kalidad ng mga bakuna at tulong mula sa China, kabilang ang Sinovac. Halos 300 accounts sa X na dating Twitter ang nagpakalat ng mensaheng #China ang virus.
I guess the main objective really was to, according to the report at least, was to sort of diminish or pababain yung credibility or trust ng specific vaccine so that audiences would favor the other. I think that was sort of like the ulterior motive.
Pero paano nga ba natin malalaman kung ang isang kampanya online ay isang coordinated attack na? Hindi ito palaging halata pero may ilang pattern na pwedeng magbigay ng clue. Unang tingnan, kapag pare-pareho na ang post o may script na ang multiple accounts na may sinasabi tungkol sa iisang issue. Maliban sa copy-pasted na content, nagsishare na rin ang mga ito ng pare-parehong picture o thumbnail para sa isang content. Ginagawa nila ito para makakuha ng malaking traction online.
What they do is that they just have a very single message and they try to amplify it the fastest way possible, and part of that really is following a specific script na similar lang in all specific accounts. Sometimes there have been incidents wherein they might change the script a little bit, siguro mga a few alterations in words, but the sort of the meat of the message is still there.
Dapat ding tingnan ang authenticity ng mga profile na nag-share ng information o may kahina-hinalang post. Pwede kasing gumagamit na lang ang mga ito ng alias imbis na totoong pangalan at AI-generated na profile picture para itago ang kanilang pagkakakilanlan. I-check din ang transparency ng bawat page o account para malaman kung bagong gawa lang ba ito. Marami sa kanila, walang malinaw na history o engagement pero bigla na lang naging active o sulpot kapag may isyong kailangang i-push. Kabuti yarn? Another red flag. Posibleng sabay-sabay rin ang pag-post ng mga ito. Halimbawa, pwedeng sabay-sabay na nag-post ang iba't ibang account na may pare-parehong mensahe sa 1 PM o ilang minuto lang pagkatapos ng isang post. Pero pwede ring bantayan ng mga account na mayroong mga irregular posting pattern dahil baka parte ito ng isang overnight job.
The first thing is to really recognize na hindi siya like one-off lang, hindi siya isang incident. Quite often, a lot of these accounts repeat a lot of these behaviors, and it's not just one topic that they focus on. They focus on a series of topics, and you need to look at a group or a cluster of accounts. So not just one account, or one account to be specific.
Sa loob ng social media ecosystem, ang algorithms mismo ang nagpapalakas sa ganitong klaseng behavior. Habang mas maraming engagement tulad ng likes, shares, comments, mas napapansin ng system ang isang online topic. Kahit peke ang mga interaction. At kapag pinalakas ng algorithm, ang coordinated na disinformation ay nagmumukhang organic o totoo. Ang resulta, mas maraming naniniwala, mas mabilis ang pagkalat, at mas mahirap na itong itama. At ayon sa eksperto, maraming iba't ibang teknik sa Pilipinas para sa isang coordinated attack dahil nagsisilbi raw itong training ground sa pag-deploy ng disinformation.
The Philippines has always been known as sort of like a petri dish or an experimental grounds for disinformation. Unfortunately, it's a very bad reputation. But we have been, I guess, in many ways, parang first in the world to deploy a lot of these techniques. Quite often, that especially because we have an audience that speaks English and reads English content.
Paano naman natin mapoprotektahan ang ating sarili para magkaroon ng isang safe online space kung may kumakalat na coordinated attack? Unang hakbang, huminga bago mag-share. Kapag sobrang emotional ng content na nakakagalit o kahit na sobrang nakakakilig, sandali munang pag-isipan. Dahil kadalasan, ginagamit ang emosyon para mapaaga ang pag-click o pag-share.
Try to take a step back and really think about, is this content really something that's genuine? Or tina-target ba ako nito para galitin so that I get to react? Kasi of course, part of the engagement algorithm online really harps on our fears and our hopes. So any kind of extreme emotion is something that we have to be on the lookout for.
Pangalawa, i-verify ang nasagap na information online. Tingnan kung may legitimate source tulad ng media outlet, government data, o verified statement na aakma sa nakuhang information.
Don't rely on one source. Validate, look at trusted media institutions and see if na-reflect ba to the regional reporting or even national reporting before you actually believe in things. Kasi of course we value speed, but we also need to value accuracy in the information that we consume.
Pero higit pa sa mga tip na ito, may komento si Libot kung ano ang pinakamagandang solusyon para kontrahin ang misinformation online.
For me, the best solution towards fake information is restoring trust in our institutions, restoring trust in government. And it's very hard to have trust in that if there's issues of corruption, if there's issues of all of these allegations of misuse. It's more likely that people believe those kinds of fake information because it's not like government is delivering anyway. So if we want to get rid of this as a problem in society, we need to be able to restore the dignity of our institutions, and part of that really is delivering material outcomes for our people.
Ang laban sa disinformation ay hindi lang trabaho ng fact-checkers o journalists. Laban ito ng bawat netizen. Kaya sa susunod na makakakita ng trending topic, bago mag-react, mag-share o mag-comment, kalma muna and ask yourself, is it giving organic or coordinated attack?